can just cut this bit. Okay.
Oh dear. Alright. Are we good?
Can you clap?
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah.
rusty.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Grant.
And I'm Bryce.
We are dimly lit.
I took the shell off my racing snail, thinking it would make him faster. But if anything, it made him more sluggish.
Oh, come on.
I could see your eyes trying to figure out where I was going with it.
I nearly had it worked out as well in my head, but I didn't quite get there.
Yeah. It was like I was reading through what to say tonight, and I was like reading it out to Becky. She was like, "No, not that one. Not that one."
Just went through a list of jokes. Yeah.
It was crazy. Anyway, what are we talking about tonight? Or today?
Don't know.
It's been
it's been what, 8 months, I think.
8 months?
Yeah.
Serious?
Since I lost my organ. That was the last one.
Wow.
Yeah.
8 months.
Yep. So quite a bit's happened in that time. So maybe we'll just catch up
Yeah, sure.
on
Everything.
everything.
I can't even remember what made us stop. Really, 8 months ago.
Starts with a G.
Yeah, but that was 8 months ago. That's only 5 months ago. So has it been 8 months? Or is something
No,
else?
it's definitely 8 months.
Or was it...
Because I had a look at when the last one went up.
But we did do one after that of a GeoGuessr one. That I don't
Yeah,
think
didn't
got
upload
uploaded.
it. Didn't upload it.
Must have failed pretty hard on that GeoGuessr. Just didn't want people to see it.
Yeah, we didn't do very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should do an Aussie one.
We should do it.
That might be better.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, well, I don't know then.
Because how long do we want to say about you moving then?
Yeah, so we were in Clare then.
Yeah.
8 months ago. And then, and so now we're in a new location in the bus. And, temporary location. But, so bought a bus for $7,000 and, renovating it. Well, that's probably, when did that happen?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You moved to Auburn in January, didn't you? Towards the end of January, I think it was.
When did I lose my job? That was September.
Sorry, what job did you
Oh
lose?
no, I was a bus driver last time.
Yeah.
Thing, yeah. So that happened before the last podcast.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened.
I think maybe we just like we always do, either forget to do it or just go, oh yeah, we'll do that, and then the week disappears, and then you forget to do it, and then everything else piled on top of that.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure you moved in at the end of January because your brother-in-law was down on Australia Day weekend.
Yeah.
And you moved like around that time.
Yeah. So yeah, living in a bus is pretty good. We're might do a bit of a rundown on the renos one day. But as far as like lifestyle goes, it's definitely a step up.
Yeah.
I would say from living in a house. I mean, it's pretty challenging sometimes with because we're renovating it and don't have the toilet and shower close, so you have to walk to the shower and all that kind of stuff. But
nights like tonight.
Nights like tonight where it's windy and rainy. Yeah, it's pretty rough. But it's super nice. Like if I want a snack, I can just
lean over and
go over there to the kitchen.
Don't even get
about a meter away.
You should get one of those grabby handles, that extend.
Yeah. Well, this is Marie's seat, so Marie can sit here and pass me all the snacks.
Or she's the one that slaps you if you get up to get something. No,
I don't get up.
Oh, don't you?
Da-
Because
Daisy sits on my lap.
Right, of course.
So I can't get up.
Marie is the snack getter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cup of tea getter.
Wow. Brutal.
Well, cat's on my lap. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, that's it. You definitely can't upset them.
Yeah, so moved into the bus. What else happened with me in the last 8 months?
Oh, you got a new job? At the
then the other job.
The other job, yeah.
That's the more recent thing. So, how many weeks has that been now? 4 or 5 weeks, I think.
You keeping up with it?
Actually, I think it's like 6. Oh, not the last couple of weeks. I'm meant to do 7 hours a week, which is, like, theoretically easy.
Yeah.
Because I've got the middle of every day to do it.
Yeah.
And I can do 4 hours in a day
Right.
between the school run. So
if you wanted to, you could do like 2 days a week there.
Yeah.
Pretty well. Yeah.
And generally I do like 3.5 hours for a couple of days.
Yeah.
But with the weather, like, just haven't been able to get there. So I got some inside stuff to do there.
Oh yeah. Like painting and stuff. Or
Well, I need to hang some soap dispensers and stuff. All sorts of things.
Yeah, right.
It's
That's
pretty
pretty
nice.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not just mowing the lawns. Like
Yeah. So I could go there and do that.
Yeah.
But when the weather's like this, I don't even really want to go into. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure how it works with, like the kid, like, as far as like making noise and going into classrooms to do stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't asked about like those kind of details. Like, I could do it maybe through the lunch break or
School holidays
whatever.
would be a good time for it.
Yeah,
You'd
that's
be able
kind
to
of
get on
what.
top of a lot
That's
of
only
stuff.
like 2 weeks away now.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm just gonna hold off on the inside, some of the inside stuff,
Yeah.
and just go spend a day. Hello, Daisy. Just go spend a day. She's gonna get stuck in there. Daisy. Oh.
Probably. Need to blur that.
Yeah, blur that. Yeah, because at least in the classrooms are empty. I can go in there because I need to use like a hammer drill and stuff into the wall and all that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that job is fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's probably all that's happened to me in the last 8 months.
Yep.
Move. I think she thinks she's going that way,
Yeah.
but she goes on the wrong side of the blind. You lost.
Poor thing.
But I think between the bus driving and the groundsman job, is I've found my calling of working with kids.
Yep.
I just absolutely love it. Except maybe Jordan.
Yeah, just in case.
He's watching. I only tease him because he left without saying thank you for driving him for all those months.
Yep. So ungrateful.
It's a bit rough.
Yeah.
Jordan, if you're listening.
Yep.
Oh gosh. But I've had jobs that I've liked, and like working with Steve building houses, like that was fun. I loved doing that because it was like challenging, like mentally and physically. And then the handyman stuff was good. Kind of managing things a bit was good. And then the game development is heaps of fun because it's creative. But working with kids is like on another level for me. Yeah. Like I get excited to go drive the bus.
Yeah.
Which is a bit weird. Like I've never felt that for a job before.
Yep, that's cool.
But it is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been driving a bus for nearly a year then, like.
Yeah, I'm about a term away from.
Because you had your job for a while before the last.
I started in the last term.
Right.
So
You're I've done.
I've done 3 terms now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, awesome.
Yeah.
And you've done like trips to Adelaide and stuff too.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
And the most of the time I've just gone and walked around the city or whatever while they do their thing.
Yep.
Did I tell you that I went in with them to the museum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me that.
So that was the first time I actually went with the
Yeah.
kids to do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to try and do that more now, just ask if I can go with them.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to walk around shops that I'm not going to buy anything anyway, or just sit in a bus is boring.
Yeah.
Or in a lot of the time there's other bus drivers there, and no offense to a lot of other bus drivers, but they're not
Not the sharpest tools in the shed?
No. I better phrase this properly. And make some... What do you call it? Caveats? Is that the word?
I don't know.
Don't
talk about
the bus driving crew in Riverton are fantastic. And I'm not even joking. Like
Honest.
I go for coffee with them every day.
Yeah.
If I didn't like them, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And so that, well, I like most.
Yeah.
I like. What's the percentage of?
Don't do that.
5 out of 6. He'll never watch this.
You never know.
Anyway, so they are really good. But when I have like stopped somewhere and there's drivers from other like that I don't know from other places,
yeah,
they just talk like grot.
Yeah, like
oh, this chick got drunk and she was doing a wee on the steps, and the other driver's like, oh, I wish I had that, and I thought that's disgusting. Why would you want someone to wee on this?
But that is what it normally is like. Like, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a bit of a...
It's like, that's what workplaces usually are like.
Yeah. But anyway, I'd rather go in with the kids and walk around a museum
than sit and talk to the bus drivers.
Than sit and talk to other bus drivers.
Yeah. You should talk to them, or like, I know you can't, but should get them to go, because I know they went to the Adelaide Zoo, didn't they? A while ago. They should do a Monado Zoo run, because that'd be pretty cool. And then you can critique the bus driver that takes you around the...
Yeah. Hang on, I'll take it from here. Yeah. I'm their bus driver, so if you could just...
Get in the back.
Yeah. And then when you go through the line enclosure, just go up the field. It's like, let's just go a bit closer, guys.
We don't need to stick to the roads.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't go to that one.
It's probably just a bit far away, really. And like the Adelaide Zoo, I don't know. Well, they could do... Do they do Adelaide Zoo and museum on the same day or not?
They probably would.
So that might be something else, because there's more other things to do.
The only other thing is the Adelaide Zoo, like, fluff. It's compressed. Like, it's like in a small area.
Yeah.
And so they can get in, walk around
Yeah.
And come out.
I suppose kids on a bus for like an hour.
Yeah, like you'd have to be there all day.
Yeah.
To see animals.
Yeah.
And there's just heaps of walking and more risk of like kids like getting lost and running off in weird spots or whatever. True. So that's probably got something to do with it as well.
They might go there when they're a bit older.
Maybe.
Even.
Yeah.
Higher grade.
Yeah. What happened with you?
So, 8 months ago, not a lot was happening really. 8 months ago, Becky was still pregnant. Our little baby was due in, hopefully I get this right, 4th of April, I'm pretty sure it was. And she was born on the 14th of February, on Valentine's Day. Everyone loved that. It's like, oh, it's the best present ever. I don't know how many times I heard that. So yeah, it was a bit early, unfortunately. But she's all good.
Fortunately.
Yeah. She's 4 months old now, as of like Tuesday this week, which is crazy to think that's been 4 months. You can go into the whole corrected age, all that jargon.
Oh, because she's premature.
7 weeks prem, so technically she'd only be like just over 2 months.
Yeah.
But which I find it fun. Like I know
You'd grow differently out though, wouldn't you? Like as
they
a
don't
baby?
think. Well, I think growing, yes, but they think mentally not.
Oh yeah. Well, that kind of makes
see,
sense.
I don't see why.
No, because she's taking in visual stimuli,
true.
which would be more stimulating than not.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah. So I don't know if it, but they do.
If the brain's not ready for that, maybe it doesn't do much.
Yeah, and they do say that usually you'll see her doing a 4-month-old thing
6 months
at 7 weeks past 4 months, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, so you have to keep that in mind, and it sort of catches up around 2 to 3 years old, I think. I can't remember what I was going to say. We spent about 5 weeks in the hospital. I think 4 weeks in hospital. Unfortunately, Becky wasn't able to stay in the hospital during that time, which is also good but bad. Like, Becky probably wouldn't have handled staying in the hospital for 4 weeks either, but yeah, it wouldn't be good for her. But it wasn't nice for to go home from the hospital without Gemma as well. That was pretty rough. It's like, I know the night Becky got discharged. Sorry. It's like we walked outside and there's a family loading a baby into their car, and you're just like, that's just awful.
I feel like I wouldn't sleep.
It's
like,
I can't remember not sleeping, but I know there was days where I was just like out of it completely, and I think, well, for most of it, I probably was out of it, and not really thinking about what was going on. That sort of thing. You just do it and get it done. But no, we had really nice friends in Gawler that let us stay at a granny flat. So that was pretty awesome.
At least you're a bit closer then.
Yeah, we're only 20 minutes away from the hospital. So I was like, didn't matter what time of the day it was, we could go and see Gemma. Like, and we could, it was like 24/7 we were allowed there. But, and we went there one night. I think that night we came up for tea at Indy with everyone in Clare. We went back, and we got back at like 10:30, 11 o'clock, I think, back in Adelaide. And we went and just sat with Gemma and watched, because we were the only ones in the ward, plus the nurses, obviously. And like all the lights were off and stuff. So we just sat in the parents' room and watched telly with Gemma, and that was so good. It sort of felt like you were actually home because you're on a couch watching telly, like just chilling out sort of thing. But anyway, so I can't remember what day it was when we came home, but Gemma was still like 2.1 something like that, 2.1 kilo when she got discharged. So we hung around in Gawler for a little bit because she was a bit small for a baby seat even. So stayed for another week and then couldn't be bothered staying in Gawler anymore. It just was getting a bit... I needed to go back to work. I spent like 5 weeks off of work, really. And like I'm still trying to pick up jobs now, really. But so yeah, we came home and we moved into Auburn, into Mum and Dad's place, as you know. Which that was a bit rough at the start, but got going pretty good.
Rough in what way, you mean?
Just
not organised.
I think it was just badly organised and just communication errors and stuff like that by me, and like we obviously, like when Becky went into labour, we were planning on, well, we had 2 months before the due date, really.
Yeah.
And we were planning on moving to Auburn within those 2 months.
Yeah.
From Farrell Flat. So then it's like we weren't 100% packed. Like we had a fair bit packed, but not everything. Definitely not everything. And so then we just got out of hospital, came here, and then had to get everything moved. And it was just, it was a bit of a nightmare. But family helped out and
I feel like it's settled. Everything's kind of settled down.
Yeah, everything's good now. We're definitely making a few changes to the house, but which is nice because it is feeling more and more like ours now.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much my last 8 months, really.
Yeah. Like, getting ready for a baby and then having a baby.
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah. And you can never be ready for it either, I don't think. Not 100%.
No.
Like, you can be prepared somewhat. But, like, that's the thing. Becky, the night before Becky went into labour, she was writing down her birthing plan. Like, if this happens, I want that. If this happens instead, I want this to happen. And it's like, then the next day she goes into labour, and it's like, it's all taken...
screw that up.
Taken out of her control, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So.
I get kids ask about Gemma sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, Jordan did a few times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I would drive off and be like, "Hey, Grant!" From the back of the bus. What? How's Gemma?
That's funny.
Yeah. And then, it's funny, this young kid from primary school, I drove on his run for like half a term and told him and his brother about.
Yeah.
And that was actually when I think I was doing that run, like right when Becky had her or something.
Yeah, right.
It must have been. When was she born again? Right?
February the 14th.
Yeah.
Which was a Tuesday.
Yeah, so I told them as it happened.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yep.
And I haven't seen this kid because I changed runs back to the good run again.
Yeah.
And then, I haven't seen this kid for over a term.
Yep.
And then I take his class to excursion.
Yeah.
This week, and there's all these kids sitting around, and it was so funny. He saw my phone, and he's got the same phone.
Oh, right.
I was like, "Grant, is that a Nokia?"
Nokia.
Yeah. And it took me. I'm like, "What?" Yeah. And he's like, "I've got the same phone." He was so excited, and then he's like, he said it in a funny way. He goes, Does your sister still have her baby?" I'm like, yeah, thanks for asking, mate. Yeah. She's going alright. But it's kind of sweet when kids...
Yeah. Actually remember it and want to know, sort of thing.
Or even like, I was on the good run last year, and then at the start of this year I got put on another run. And so... Wait, how does that work?
What?
When did we buy the bus? Oh no, we bought the bus before January, so that was like at the end of so we must have bought the bus when I was still doing the good run last year.
Yeah.
And so I was telling them about it. And then I started the year on another run, and then so I didn't see those kids for weeks, like months.
Yeah.
And then I go back on the good run, and one of the first, I mean, heaps of them asked about it, but one of the first stops that I stop at is a little girl, and I'm like, oh, do you remember me? Just like, yes. She goes, how's your bus? Or something. She asked about the bus. I'm like, oh, it's so sweet. Like, these little kids, like, they remember so many details.
Yeah. And,
like, if you show interest in them, it must mean something to them because they remember it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so they even remember what's going on with you.
They don't even know me.
They don't even know you.
Everyone only cares about Gemma now. It's like,
yeah. Who's Bryce?
Exactly. So,
yeah. Well, that kind of wraps up 8 months then. Anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah. So what are we going to do? Like a monthly or a bi-weekly?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
see what happens. I think weekly's a bit too much of a...
Yeah, weekly's too hard.
Yeah, especially when you got a baby. Uh-oh, here comes Daisy.
We could probably do bi-weekly. Like...
I got heaps of stories I could tell about stuff that happens on the bus.
It'll turn into just like this week on the bus.
Yeah.
This
should tell all the kids on the bus because they'd love hearing all these stories and my reactions to their shenanigans. I just got to be careful maybe of saying names.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with a list of like
code names.
Yeah.
Can I think of any funny code names already?
And then they can try and figure out who's who.
Yeah, that would be funny, actually.
It would be really good. If you knew you weren't going to get in trouble for it would be very good.
Yeah. I don't think I would.
Is it worth taking the risk?
Yeah, I'll talk about them, for sure. Yeah.
Alright.
The things I hear teachers say...
Yeah.
Me talking about the kids, like I probably shouldn't talk about like where they live and like all that kind of stuff. But there's no,
If you got a funny story about some kids, there's nothing wrong with telling people about a funny story.
Yeah. I've got some funny stories about kids. Anyway,
I think that's it, innit?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Thanks for the chat.
Cheers.
Okay. Get Daisy off my lap. Daisy.
Poor Daisy. That was